So that was a pretty awesome shift. It's 6:38 p.m. right now. Ended up stocking the cooler that was attached to the beer cave and stocking the display in the beer cave and facing the product in the beer cave, and then also maybe the last half hour I worked on the regular cooler. Pretty average merchandising cooler shift, which I like working in the coolers. That's honestly my favorite thing to do at Circle K. So this part of town, I am not used to riding the bus in. This is one area of town where I'm generally unfamiliar with the bus routes. It's been a challenge looking at the Valley Metro app and trying to figure out, okay, what buses do I take to get where I'm going? Especially from 40th Street and Thunderbird. I had no idea. I looked at the route 138 coming in. West on that route, you head east there. That route's confusing. Trying to make sure I got my bus card ready because my bus should be here any moment. But yeah, I was waiting for that, and then I noticed that there was another route that goes north and south, and here comes my bus. The one going south is called the 39, but it only goes to the Paradise Valley Transit Center, which there's no other bus that services that transit center this time of night. And trying to figure out what other route I can take, and there's this one. This is the Route 80, which turns into the Northern bus, goes to the Dreamy Draw, and gets off at Northern. Sorry. So that was the Route 80. I don't believe I've ever used that route before. You know, and I often say that I know all the bus routes, but the reality is that I actually don't. I know most of the bus routes. The ones that I use a lot are the ones that I previously have used a lot. And obviously I'm familiar with the light rail. But yeah, there are some local routes that I've just never had reason to use. And the 80 is one of them. And I got to remember this one. It's handy. Oh, shit. There goes my train. I didn't think the transfer of the train would be this quick. I thought I'd have some time to go over there to Del Taco and get some burritos. But nope, not happening. Wow. This has been too convenient. I mean, 2 transfers super quick. Basically, the bus going down 40th Street showed up shortly after I walked out of the Circle K. So yeah, this is working out nicely. I'll be to the bar quick. Hello. Yeah, I'm good.
Approaching station, Motorola and 19th Avenue, Freetown. Exit to left.
So it's 7:08 right now. I absolutely can't believe how quickly I made it down to Christown. And I like how the announcement just simply said Christown. It didn't say Christown Spectrum or Spectrum Mall. It said Christown, which reminds me, my friend Adam Gilligan recently posted a short video posing the question as to whether this mall over here, to my right, was Christown Mall or Spectrum Mall. And that's an interesting bit of history. And this, I believe, was the very first mall in the Phoenix area. No, I take that back. Park Central was the first mall in Phoenix, but certainly one of the first malls in Phoenix. And I do believe it's the oldest mall that's still functioning. And forever and ever it was called Christown Mall. And then sometime in the 1990s, some new developers bought it and did some remodeling and changed some stuff and decided they were going to change the name to Spectrum Mall to make it sound fresh and new. And there was so much public outcry against it. And they changed all the signs. They took down the Christown signs and put up new signs that said Spectrum Mall. I love how this one little bit is gravel and doesn't connect to the sidewalk. Yeah, they put up all these signs that said Spectrum Mall, and people just hated it. By the way, one of the nifty things that they have over here at Christown Mall is Tesla superchargers glowing red at night. It doesn't seem to show so much in my video, but it looks pretty cool in person. Yeah, still dreaming of having myself an electric vehicle. Hell, at this point, I'm just dreaming of having myself a vehicle, but I digress. Yeah, they changed the name to Spectrum Mall, and there was just so much public backlash against it that they ended up, not long after, changing the signs to say Christown Spectrum Mall, which is what they've said to this day. But most people I know just refer to it as Christown, and that was some satisfaction to hear the recording on the light rail actually just say Christown. So now this mall has changed a lot. The Super Target was added. It's right here. That was added, I want to say, in the early 2000s. The whole west side of the mall was demolished, and I'm on the west side of the mall right now. It was demolished and replaced by this Target, and the building off to the left there where the Ulta is. And this is all, and then that little bit of a strip mall over there. And this isn't like a traditional mall, and it isn't directly connected. Well, I mean, it's connected physically, but it's not connected with a mall inside to the Christown Mall, the old Christown Mall. So this part just functions more like a strip mall and kind of detached, which I think is sad. And I've heard that they're planning on removing the entire original mall and going with more of a open air strip mall, mixed use development. I don't know much about how that's going down, and it will be sad to see this mall go because it's been here a long time. But anyway, it's so satisfying here. It's just called Christown. So I'm here super early. I was thinking about stopping and getting some food at Del Taco, but as soon as I saw my train, I just wanted to run and get on it. I recently installed the app for Carl's Jr., and there's a Carl's Jr. right up ahead of me. So I think I'm going to go in there. I keep getting pushed through messages about deals and free foods on the app, so I'm going to go check that out. But first, I'm going to pop into the Dollar Tree right here, because I definitely need to get some hair ties. I don't know what the hell happened to all my hair ties, but I don't have any. 7:20 right now. Still got over an hour until I have to start setting up my karaoke show. And getting there at 8:30 is kind of early-ish anyway. I almost forgot there's a Taco Bell over there. I remember I'd stopped going to that Taco Bell because it always seemed to have the lobby closed, but that's been a long time. I would imagine they've resolved that issue by now. I still think I want to try and see what I can get off my Carl's Jr. app, because it's had some pretty interesting offers popping up lately. I wanted to talk about the Route 80 bus route. That's not one I was familiar with. I forget how far west it goes, although I would imagine less than half of the buses actually go past 43rd Avenue, because that's where you enter Glendale, and bus service in Glendale is notoriously terrible. But to the east, I didn't realize it goes down Northern, gets on the 51 freeway. There's one stop at 17th Street, so one block past 16th Street. You think they'd have a stop there at Royal Palm, since it connects to Dreamy Draw Drive and also is opposite 18th Street, but oddly enough, there's no stops there. So once you have that stop at 17th Street, it's non-stop service all the way the rest of the way down Northern, onto the 51 freeway, north on the 51 freeway until it gets off on the northbound 32nd Street. I think there's only a stoplight right there at 32nd Street and Shea, and from there it goes eastbound on Shea. And for some reason I always figured Shea and I don't know why, other than it's the same 100 block, I'd always figured Shea and Peoria would share the same bus route somehow, but they don't. And that just shows how little I use buses this far north, going east and west. But that's the 60. I'm quite familiar with the 60. It goes down Bethany home to 16th Street, south on 16th Street to Camelback, and then down Camelback to 24th Street. And almost, but doesn't quite get to 36th Street. That route could totally continue on and become, and sometimes the buses do, but you can't ride the route to do it, but continue on and become the 32. I don't know why they don't consolidate that into a single route. That would make things a lot more convenient. Anyway, the 80 goes down Shea. Now, I did my transfer from the 39, because the 39 doesn't really get you into the central part of Phoenix. It goes to the Dreamy Draw Transit Center, which, like, why would you go there? There's no connecting buses there. There's nothing there. There's a parking ride there. If I had something to park, I wouldn't be riding. Nice car. Sorry about your penis. Anyway, it goes across. I was looking at the route. I transferred there at 40th Street in Shea, which is kind of a crappy place to do a transfer because there's no businesses or anything there. But, oh, and by the way, there's the Oz Bar directly across the street. Can't really see it. All I can see is that bright light, but it's behind that bright light over there to the left of the smoke shop and to the right of the Chipotle. Anyway, the route continues eastbound on Shea all the way to a couple blocks past the Loop 101 freeway. So that's good to know. I wasn't aware of that route, and that makes smart shifts at the Loop 101 and Shea Circle K that I've worked at previously, that I enjoyed working at. That makes that a very possible possibility to me. And I'm needing to learn these other routes that I don't normally take because they don't go to my home, just to kind of learn how to connect my shifts between different places. Like, this worked really well. I can't believe how quickly I got to this side of town. And, now I've got all this extra time. I was able to go into the Dollar Tree. Of course, they were kind of shitty about me coming in with a backpack. Oh, you gotta leave your backpack up front. Yeah, what if some motherfucker steals it? And I did find it to be a double standard that a man with a backpack has to leave his backpack up front, but a woman with a purse doesn't have to. What exactly is the difference between a man carrying a backpack and a woman carrying a purse? And what would happen if I said that that's my purse? And it's ma'am. Don't call me sir, it's ma'am. I'm not leaving my purse. Anyway, yeah. I don't know. I figured he'd keep an eye on it, and he did. And I just needed to get hair ties. But while I was at it, I got moon pies and also got a nice hairbrush. So, yay. I thought about getting a loaf of bread, but I think the odds of a loaf of bread getting home from here and anything other than mush condition are slim to none. So, it's like we got an armed security guard in front of the Carl's Jr. He was looking at me over funny, because heaven forbid somebody vlog on their own smartphone in a public place. But hopefully he doesn't get too weird on me when I walk in and try to buy food. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that route because that was a route I was unaware of, and it could come in really handy. And what I really liked about it is how quick it went. I mean, I got on it, and I don't think it stopped whatsoever from when I got on it all the way to getting on the freeway. And then once it had that one stop on 32nd Street, once it went around the corner from Shea, and then at that point, the disembodied voice in the bus says, next stop, 17th Street and Northern. And I'm thinking to myself, that's pretty damn far from here. And at that point, it accelerated, and the bus was doing freeway speeds. Now, most buses move pretty slowly, so nice to know that there is a bus that goes at a really high rate of speed that gets you from 32nd Street in Shea to 16th Street in Northern with a quickness. It's not too many buses that get you anywhere in the valley with a quickness, so that was pretty neat. And then from 16th Street to 19th Avenue didn't take long at all. You know, from 19th Avenue, I get on the light rail, and that kind of connects me to everywhere. So I feel like I learned quite a bit about using public transit today that I didn't already know. Keep that in mind for the future. Anyway, I haven't ate hardly anything today, so I'm going to head into Carl's Jr. Give me one of those delicious charbroiled hamburgers. So it's 7:43 p.m. and just got my burgers from Carl's Jr. I'm still finding their app super difficult to use. And the most frustrating thing is I went through the push-through notifications on my Motorola phone because I've been getting push-through messages telling me about deals, and thought it'd be a good time to take advantage of one. This is a fun place to cross because technically it's an unmarked crosswalk, but nobody who's driving is going to treat it as such. Worked out though. Got a nice big gap in traffic to cross on. Yeah, I clicked on it and I expected it was open directly in the app to the deal, but when it opened the app, it showed that I had been logged out and it wanted me to create an account. Of course, I already created an account when I got Carl's Jr. with my mother right after I picked her up from the Trump rally. So I really struggled to figure out how to make an order, but I didn't get any kind of deal at all. I just got 2 California doubles, which I really like, but man, they're like $3.50 a pop now. So I made my order over $7 and change. And there goes another Route 60. Anyway, at least I got my burger, and the security guard didn't mess with me. I totally thought he was going to, since, you know, I walked in with a backpack, and people with backpacks are assumed to be trouble. And, you know, because leave that stuff in your car. Yeah, bold of you to assume I have a car. Anyway, heading inside. I got a good 45 minutes, so I need to start getting ready for the show. But as I'll order a drink, loosen up, eat my burgers, and try to figure out how to configure this phone that I'm running out of space on to upload to the cloud space, which I paid for on Google. Hello, and welcome back again, YouTube. Well, the show went pretty good. Unfortunately, not as many people as I had last week, but there were people there, and it was steady, and the people who sang had a really good time, and that's what matters. So it's 2:17 in the morning, and as I suspected, there's not much in the way of public transportation for quite a while. I think the first public transit that'll show up in the area will be a northbound train to Metro Center, but it takes me further away from home, not closer to home, so not helpful. First ride headed in the direction of home would be a Route 60 going this direction on Bethany. That doesn't show up until 5:13, so yeah, almost 3 hours that I would have to wait at the bus stop for a bus. I'm not doing that. Nah, I think my plan is just to walk. I looked it up on Google Maps. It says 3 hours and 20 minutes for me to walk home. Which is actually quicker than taking the bus, because, you know, you're waiting 3 hours for the bus, and then it's about an hour ride home. So, yeah, I guess technically walking is quicker. To be fair, Priscilla did offer to send me an Uber, but I just absolutely hate getting around via Uber. And I don't feel like I made enough money tonight to justify taking a Waymo. And none of the rental scooters operate in this area, so that's not an option. I really got to get one of my scooters going again, because this is totally a distance I could ride a scooter home from. It almost looks like they get Christmas lights up going into Christown right now. That was unexpected. Anyway, I don't think it'll take me 3 hours to walk home, but I do expect it's going to take a while. So rather than sit and talk to myself the entire time, I think I'm going to put in my earbuds and listen to some tunes.